How do you market an online coaching business? If posting on social media feels like a treadmill that never brings in clients, you're not imagining things. The reality is, most of the strategies that coaches use to attempt to bring in clients are built for visibility, not client attraction. So in this episode, we're going to dispel the myths that are most common about marketing for coaches, and we'll show you a strategy that really works, that'll really help you develop momentum in your lead generation. So let's dive right in. Okay, so there are 4 myths that I want to dispel. Let's see if we can go through this and do some rapid fire myth busting. Myth number 1, marketing an online coaching business means posting inspirational content on social media. Now don't tell me you haven't tried this before, posting some inspirational quote or thought. And I know that you've seen hundreds of other people do it. So first, let's decide, is this actually marketing? Because who is seeing it? Who are seeing these posts, right? If you're posting it on Facebook, it's your Facebook friends that are going to see that. If you post it on LinkedIn, it's your LinkedIn connections that are going to see it. So these people already know you, so therefore it's not marketing. Even if you send it out to your email list, they already know you, they're already subscribed to your email list. So for one, it's not marketing. Now, if you're posting your own quotes, and these quotes of yours are inspirational, that could be really good nurturing. You're helping to stay top of mind with all of your connections and your friends and your subscribers. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. If you're posting inspirational quotes from other people, I mean, you're kind of promoting those other people, but there's actually a way that you can be way more strategic and actually market, actually get in front of new people who've never heard of you before. Myth number 2, the most important thing is building a big following or going viral. Now, when your goal is generating coaching clients or generating leads that become coaching clients, going viral will actually hurt your business. Okay, so I can link to another video right up there if you'd like to know more detail on that, how going viral can actually hurt your business. But I'll tell you that some of my clients that have had the smallest YouTube channels have had the best results in terms of lead generation and revenue. Myth number 3, a polished brand and website are enough to attract clients. So having a polished website and an amazing brand is a good tool. It's a great resource to have. But how do you get people to visit your website? How do they see the branding? How are you going to be discovered? If you think that by designing this amazing website and putting it out there for the world to see that it's automatically going to drum up business, maybe you've already experienced that that doesn't do anything. If you think about a restaurant or a retail store, location really matters. Now, I'm not an expert, but just think about McDonald's. We see McDonald's everywhere, and they're not only a food company, a lousy food company, but they're also a real estate company. The locations of those McDonald's buildings, they're in some of the most expensive real estate. They're on the corners of intersections, or you see their signs visibly from the freeways and everywhere. So imagine if that McDonald's or any restaurant or any retail store was on some back alley road and it was hidden behind trees. Even if it was an amazing business or the most amazing restaurant, if no one can see it, if no one knows it's there, then it's not going to attract any business. You've got to either have it on the street corner or you've got to do some type of advertising. You've got to have some way of bringing in traffic. So if you've got an online coaching business, you've got this amazing website, your branding is just phenomenal, how are people going to see it? How are you going to get that in front of people? Myth number 4, content marketing means following trending topics. Now, the reason that you might think that is you see YouTube channels that focus on those trending topics and they end up going viral. Trending topics will typically get a lot of views. They'll get a lot more attention faster. It's not you that's going viral or your services or your expertise. It's that topic that is viral, and it's not going to generate any leads because everyone is talking about that viral topic. You can have a video that gets 1 million views and you'll probably not generate a single lead from it, or you can have a video that gets 100 views and you'll generate 10 leads from it. Which would you choose? 1 million views and no leads, or 100 views and 10 leads? Now, if you were right here and I asked you that question, I know you would choose the smart answer, but in real life, you would probably choose 1 million views. I'm just saying. So let's take a step back and let's talk about marketing as a whole and some good principles to follow. Real marketing begins with clarity. You need to have complete clarity on who your target audience is, what your offer is, who it's for and who it's not for. And I challenge you to get really clear on what is the outcome that you deliver. So if you sell coaching, like coaching for what? right? And I provide this type of coaching. Do you want to hire me for some coaching? We can set up appointments every single week. You're not going to have that many people that hire you for that. But if your coaching leads to an outcome, I'm going to take you through a process, we're going to do coaching, but I'm going to help you achieve this goal, or I'm going to help you overcome this problem. You need to have real clarity on that before you can ever expect to have any success in your coaching business. Now, I want to connect to that your marketing, because your marketing needs to direct people to that same outcome. You can't market yourself as an expert coach who's really good at coaching. It can't be about you and your credentials and your past and all the amazing things about you, because that's not what people want. What people want is that outcome. So now let's take it a step further. When you know clearly what outcome you can help people create, whether that's to make more income, maybe they can double their revenue, or it's to help them overcome a challenge in their life, or overcome an addiction, or to improve their sales on their team, or help create more unity in their company. Whatever that goal is, whatever that outcome is, then you can flip that around and kind of reverse engineer, okay, what are the problems? If that's the solution I provide, then what are the problems, or what are the questions that people are typing in when they would be best served by that outcome? So you need to have clarity on this before you can even get to that step. And when you know the questions that they're asking, that's the game changer. Okay, because you can find out the questions that your target audience is asking on Google, on ChatGPT, on YouTube search. That's what I'm really good at helping people with. I can hone in and find the exact wording of the questions that they're asking when they go to YouTube, Google, and ChatGPT. And therefore, you know what type of content to create so it can be found by your target audience at the right time. How do I know what content will actually attract clients instead of just views? If you want the most views, then create something that's funny or entertaining. But if you want to attract clients, then you need to find people where they are and create the content that will answer that question. The best platform to do that, and that will actually result in you showing up everywhere that people are searching, the best platform is YouTube. Now, I talk a lot about YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel to learn why I choose YouTube. But the short answer is this: YouTube is the only content platform that is searchable by topic. Okay, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, your podcast, nothing else is searchable by topic. But you can do research, you can find this question that your target audience is asking. We can make a video that answers that exact question. If we put that video on YouTube, we can get that video ranked at the top of YouTube and at the top of Google and at the top of ChatGPT, and have it build a relationship with people and generate leads for your business. So that's the entire reason YouTube is at the backbone of my done-for-you service. Do I need to run ads to get traction as an online coach? Well, maybe, but not necessarily for lead generation. And that might sound crazy, but you need to have a fine-tuned funnel. And paid advertising is the best way to get that figured out quickly, right? Because if you pay money for clicks, those clicks are going to see ads and offers and wording, right? And you're going to need to test and tweak. You're going to need to split test and figure out which ones work better and what ads lead to better conversations and how should that conversation run. So you're going to need to fine tune that, and paid advertising can work the best. But ultimately, you're going to have much better results if you have a fine-tuned funnel, and then you leverage YouTube search and ChatGPT search to bring in people to your funnel after they've consumed some of your answers. Now, I'll consider this video to be an introduction. Okay, so part 2 of this video I'm going to link to right here. It's called Why Your Marketing Isn't Working. If you'd like to take the next step in knowing how to leverage YouTube, how to leverage ChatGPT to actually generate leads and market your coaching business, I highly recommend go watch that video next.